I've been through a lot of different cycles of real estate. They used to be in 10-year cycles. Now with COVID and what that did to it, and then, the mortgage meltdown and everything, that 10-year cycle is completely out of whack. So all of our
Mm.
crystal balls have broken into a million pieces, and all of us are just scratching our heads like, now what? And then
Yeah.
there's like all this NAR stuff and lawsuits and you name it. So, but our whole thing is just keep your head down and do what we do. And back in the old days, it was belly to belly business with clients. We get a lot of online leads, but these leads, we're good with them, but they're basically just strangers that you need to turn into, a sphere of influence, and you need to build and earn that trust. Very hard to earn trust nowadays. When you get a Zillow lead, they come in, there's 9,000 real estate agents just in their city, and they could honestly just give a shit about, they just want to get the house basically. So what we train the agents to do is to build that relationship by always giving and providing value, whatever that is. So one of the things we do is, since we're asked all the time for directories, meaning like, hey, I'm moving here, I need a window washer, a dog walker, a probate attorney, you name it, HVAC, the list is, 100, vendors long,
Yeah.
basically.
Right.
So what we did is we reached out to all those local vendors that have a 4.5-star rating and that have great testimonials and say, hey, I don't have a window washer, believe it or not. Would love to put you in our service directory since you have good ranking, and would like to discuss that. I'm going to fill this slot in a week, so get back to me. And we put them in our directory. There's no cost. We don't charge anything. But there's one condition. It's like, hey, I hope to give you 30 referrals. Just give me one. And if you put 100 people in your directory and you're constantly not just putting them, we don't just put them in the directory, we actually create content and we put them on a local website for that town. And that website for the town has everything from current events to obviously these, articles on these local directories so people can know about the local businesses and everything. And pretty much anything you'd see on a patch or next door, but like, we're the only real estate, people on it. This is old school. We were doing this decades ago, but now there's AI, and I'm like, wow, we could do this 1,000 times faster and better. And so what we did is we just took the new with the old. And my business model for my agents, and I hate to say it, but and I've worked for brokerages, I worked for Sotheby's, I've worked for managed offices, and it's a freaking hamster wheel. At least it was back in the day, where it's like, get an agent, fill the office, make sure they use the escrow title or affiliated services. They get old, throw them out, and you're discarded. And the knowledge that I saw from these agents that have been doing it for years, there's a whole craft to, especially in California. I've been doing this for a while. I'm saying if I was an agent that's been selling, they get all this new AI stuff and they just completely distort out. They're just like, I don't know what's going on. I'm just going to quit. I'm going to retire. I'm like, what are you talking about? You can close a deal better than anyone. You know the contract better than anyone. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to hook you up with a junior agent that doesn't know shit. It's probably going to get sued and probably not even convert that lead, but they're really good at meeting people, because they're really quick on the draw.
Yeah.
They team up. It's not a mentorship. They team up with a conversion partner on my team, and they work together, and they split it like 60, 40, 70, 30, whatever. But that junior gets to, when they get through 8 deals, they graduate, and then they can go whatever tier they're on for their GCI. And so that also gives me a pillar of income to pay, to get paid for your knowledge as a senior, not a senior citizen, but a senior agent that's been doing this for a while. And we created an ecosystem. So there is no hamster wheel. We threw that out the door, and we're like an Indian tribe where there's elders and there's the warriors and the hunters and the gatherers, and we created our whole culture. Yeah, I guess it is like an Indian tribe. We did. I just said that. I never thought of it that way. But yeah, that's what everyone has a purpose. And the village thrives because everyone knows their position and everybody wins. Everyone stays alive through a harsh winter.